years ago today, the cute and highly collectible critters known as Pokémon launched onto our tiny Game Boy screens and kickstarted a Nintendo franchise that would grow exponentially into a global behemoth far beyond the world of video games.
My name's Emily Leaney and I am a content creator. I work in games and technology side of things.
My name's Johnny. I'm Nintendo Down Under collecting. I've been collecting Nintendo, I guess, my whole life, but I took it up seriously about 15 years ago.
Everyone's got an experience with the series in some way, shape or form. The games are quite fun to play. There's obviously the expansion of, you've got your anime and cards as well.
Hey, I'm Veronica Taylor, probably best known as the original voice of Ash Ketchum.
I will be a Pokémon master.
Pokémon is such a big part of all of our lives. It's woven into who we are, the culture. There's so many different ways into Pokémon, whether it's through the cards or the games, the TV show, starting out with a little plushie. It's such an evolving community.
It wasn't just about gaming. There's so many different aspects where they could grab people from the TV show to movies to the games to Pokemon cards. They just nailed all the areas, and there wasn't a kid around in the 90s that did not know what Pokemon was.
Inspired by the ability of Nintendo's Game Boy to share data from one cartridge to another through a cable link, Satoshi Tajiri, collaborating with producer and current CEO of the Pokemon company, Tsunekazu Ishihara, plus other notable game designers at the time like Shigeru Miyamoto, came up with the idea of Pocket Monsters, now known as Pokémon, releasing the first games, Pokémon Red and Pokémon Blue, in 1996 on the Nintendo Game Boy in Japan. The two versions of the game were identical, except for a slight variation of Pokémon available to catch in each, encouraging trading via the Game Boy's unique wired connection, initiating the double game release that would become a signature of Pokémon titles into the future.
A lot of us have grown up with Pokémon, collecting Pokémon cards or playing the games, and it's very, very popular in Japan, much more in Japan than here, but it's kind of spread worldwide and created this absolute love for it everywhere.
I think a lot of these games were built by nerds for nerds, so I think they had the gamer's interest in mind.
My favourite Pokemon game is definitely Pokemon Snap. I love that game so much, and it's so different compared to the other games in the series because you are in like a little cart, so to speak, and you're going around and you're taking photos of all the little Pokemon. I've introduced a lot of people to it. So again, like when we have friends over in the games room, it's one of those games. They're like, I've never played this before. I didn't even know there was a Pokemon game where you can, throw apples and get Pikachu to do this. It's one of my favorites to share with people.
Yeah, Pokemon Red and Blue on the Game Boy Color, that was just what you had to do back then as a kid. Everyone was doing it. You get your manual out, you train them. It was just fantastic. I'm still playing the modern Pokemon games today. Obviously, Pokemon games today, they're much more advanced and better graphics. But just, I don't know, the charm and magic. I keep banging on about that, but Pokemon Red for me is just pinnacle.
My favorite Pokemon game is probably Pokemon Ruby. I think the third generation is where a lot of the feel and fun was still in Pokemon.
Generation 5. Black and White, that's probably the best generation there is.
I really like the Sword and Shield games. It introduced some of my absolute all-time favorite Pokemon.
I have only played Pokemon Red. I have a DS. I have done Pokemon Go, of course. At one point someone asked, do you collect anything? And I said, no, but I have a giant Pokeball at home. I have Pikachu slippers. I have so many plushies. So I guess I am a collector, but I never admit it.
Originally, 151 Pokemon were designed for the game, but now the Pokedex has expanded to over 1,000, with some designs and names getting quite creative, often drawing inspiration from real-world animals, objects, and even food.
Looks like you got a case of the munchies.
You talk to anyone, someone's going to love one particular Pokemon over another one. A great conversation starter sometimes is what would your first starter Pokemon be?
There's a saying within the community where it's every Pokemon belongs, is someone's favorite. So you can always find something that's cute, something for you, something cool, something edgy.
My favorite Pokemon is Pikachu. I think that Ash and Pikachu's relationship is kind of what defines the show. We learn how to work together, how to get along, how to give up what you originally thought you wanted and take on what has come to you. The way that they work together teaches us how to work with others.
I'm Filipino, so I love lechon. It's a cute little Pokemon.
I make a lot of Pokemon art because it's my favorite, but this is my favorite Pokemon. He's the top one here. His name is Corviknight. He carries the taxis in the game. He's a very big bird and he carries the taxis around in my favorite game, so he's my favorite.
Over 30 years, Pokemon has expanded with a trading card game, anime series, merchandise, spin-offs and mobile games, a series of manga comics, a theme park, and even a Hollywood movie.
Pika Pika! Yeah, Pika Pika Pika, he's adorable.
And with new generations of humans being introduced to new generations of Pokemon, it looks like these little guys are here to stay.
Pokemon is about community, and to see the community grow through these 30 years, it's such a feeling of love and caring and empathy and compassion for people. This community has really stood up for one another, and gosh, I stand up for them and I stand behind them, and I feel so lucky to be a part of it. That is the memory that I will, oh my gosh, that I'll always take with me.
Because the world is fascinated with Pokemon, they can keep pumping out a new Pokemon game every year, do a few differences, and I know people are going to buy it. Like, I think they could definitely push the boundaries of open world Pokemon a bit better. I still like them, don't get me wrong, but again, I don't think they've changed as good as they could have.
There's no reason for them to change it. It's worked so well since, the first iterations of games to now. The way that they've designed the game, it doesn't need to change. And I think if it did, people would probably be like, hang on a minute, go back to what it was.
I feel like Pokemon has just really nailed their design and their story that everyone just absolutely loves it, and I love it so much, so yeah.
Pokemon 30-year anniversary! I choose you!
I'll be at Collectfest this year in Sydney and in Brisbane. I think Sydney's in a month's time. I'm running a Mario Kart tournament, and if you win that tournament, you win $500. So Mario Kart 64 tournament, $500. Get your tickets to that as well. So that's going to be exciting and lots of fun.